Do. Okay, now that's better. I think I had an echo because I had it down. So this morning, my guest is none other than Blanche Valentine. I don't know why I can't see out my glasses. They're clear at the top and have the readers at the bottom, you know.
Oh,
For some reason today, the clear at the top just isn't clear,
oh,
but that's okay. Oh, so this week's show, we're going to be talking to Blanche Valentine. She's the Cultural Center Administrator for the African American Culture Society. That's a
yes,
whole lot of words. And she's going to tell us what's going on, what's upcoming, the things that you've had done, right?
that's right.
Okay.
Well, first of all, we've grown.
I know we're going to talk about that.
That's it.
So let's get ready to go in so we can get on air and talk about how you've grown and what's
Okay.
going on
hmm
and all that other kind of stuff. You ready, Mark?
You are now tuned in to Today with Pastor Jay on WNZF News Radio, where we discuss inspiring and informative news. And now here's your host, Pastor Jerlyn Denny.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Wake up and good morning. What a wonderful day it is to be alive. I say that. It's a great day to be alive. It's a great day to be on this side of the earth, to get right today what we messed up on yesterday. I might need a bunch of days for that because I sure messed up on yesterday. I walked in the studio this morning. I said, note to self, do not record a radio show when you're really grieving.
This is true.
I was really grieving
hmm
and I should not have recorded last week's show. I don't know what was wrong with me. I don't even remember what I said. It was probably not a good show, but I know what I did say. I
What did you
always give
say?
praise to God.
All right, then.
Always give praise to
It was
God.
a fantastic
I'll
show.
always give praise to God. So,
hmm
the sound of that beautiful voice is my good friend, none other than Blanche Valentine. And I must say, you've been a good friend of mine. We don't have to talk all the time. We don't even have to see each other all the time. We just kind of have this not understanding thing going on, just mutual respect. And I honor you and I respect you for the friendship that we do have.
And
But
that's mutual.
so you are the Cultural Center Administrator for the African American Culture Society here in Palm Coast. And
Yes.
you are not a stranger to this show because you've been
No,
on the show before.
without a doubt.
Man, speaking of oops, I'll remember one time you was on my show. I'm going to say it. She's thinking, don't you dare. I'm going to say it. I won't give all the details. And you
Okay.
guys are not going to be able to look up the show because it's not that easy to find. But we were sitting here one time
Okay.
and you turned and looked at the other guest because I had another guest here.
Yes, you did.
And
And let me tell you about what's going on at the African American
we
Cultural
gonna switch.
Society.
Yeah, let's switch. It was a funny show. I'll just say that. But when you are in stressful situations,
This is true.
things happen. That's why we have to give people grace,
hmm
right?
It's it.
We have to extend grace and extend love,
Right.
even when we don't want to, because
Let's
it's
say,
so.
oh,
It,
oops, I screwed up.
we do it. I do it all the time. Hopefully, I
hmm
won't do it on this show, but never
hmm
know. It's still early.
hmm
But how long have you been at the African American Culture Society?
Um, gosh,
Goodness,
yeah,
3, 4 years?
four, going
Four?
close to five,
Going close to
maybe
5?
five. Yeah.
Yeah, I
hmm
remember when you started out.
hmm
Everyone was excited about it. There's been
Yeah.
lots of changes that I know of, and I
hmm
know there's several.
hmm
There's been a huge remodel.
Yeah.
Uh huh.
Yeah. We've redone the
Hmm.
roof. We redid the complete inside, gutted it
Sure
out,
did.
new floors and everything. I have to give the membership like major kudos.
Hmm.
The board of directors, the executive board, the different committees, everybody pitches in and works there. And that's what when they say teamwork
Hmm.
work makes the dream work, that's what happens at AACS.
And you have that beautiful library in there.
Yes, we do.
Let's talk about that. What kind of items we may be able to find in the
You know
library?
what? You can come in there and find some of the, um, I don't want to call it oddities, but we have an extensive movie collection. And we're going to start showing movies again. We were trying to do it on Thursday evenings, but we have movies from the 20s and 30s and 40s,
Wow,
all produced by Black
I
studios.
didn't know that.
Yeah. Um, Spencer Williams, who played Andy on Amos and Andy,
Hmm.
had a master's degree in cinematography from USC. Um, he played a character, and people didn't realize it. He also owned a studio, and he produced movies. One of the most successful series that he produced was a detective series with James Earl Jones's father as the
I did
detective.
not know that.
It's awesome, wonderful, wonderful. And as soon as the man talks, you say, "Oh, that's James Earl Jones's father."
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He's taller than his son, and James Earl Jones is handsome, but his father was just drop dead fine.
Mm-hmm.
And he
Uh,
was like, "Yes,
keep it together.
I'm
Keep
telling you,
keep it
make me
together, Blanche.
sweat."
Keep it together, Blanche.
But we have that. We have Mom's Maybelline used to make movies,
Mm-hmm.
and they're comedies. They're clean comedies. We have those. We have a lot of the um, black exploitation movies, but we also have, Corman Jones and um, uh, Anna Lucida, which is a movie with Eartha Kitt and Sammy Davis
So you've
Jr.
got some good stuff in there. I know you got some
Yes.
art. I've seen
Oh
several different
yeah,
art pieces.
artifacts, our membership, and then just in general the community. They go to Africa or something, anything, and they bring back artifacts, and then they donate them. So we have those there. We have members that collect and bring their collections there. Uh,
That
so
is pretty neat. So you're
yeah,
located on US 1, and what are the hours? I mean, I know during COVID, I mean, you shut down and did a
we
lot of
shut
things.
down. Well, you know what? With the museum now, we're basically 7 days a week.
Wow.
Yeah, and well, and here's the other thing: uh, the African American Cultural Society is a building, a
Mm-hmm.
cultural center, built by Black folks with their own hard-earned money. Had a hard time getting mortgage and funding, and they built it themselves. But it's a building that services the community. The Flagler um, let's see, I got to get the title right. The Flagler County Bridge Club meets there 3 days a week. So if you want to learn how to play bridge, you can come in Monday, Tuesday, or Thursday. And,
And learn how to pray
and
break.
right,
And you can also rent the facility as
you
well. I
can
mean, you
rent the facility.
have dinners there, family reunions I've
Hmm.
seen there, weddings,
Oh,
all
yeah.
different types of things. It's a beautiful, so
Everything goes on
got a
there.
beautiful kitchen.
Full commercial kitchen, fully licensed. And the bridge club, not the bridge club, the photographer, Flagler Beach
Mm-hmm.
Photography Club, just has moved their meetings there. And Tori and the rest of the crew from Arthur Murray, they were the models for their shoot. So
Very nice.
yeah,
So just
it's
do
a
a lot of
fun.
stuff. Because a lot of people come by and say, "Go African American Culture Society." Hey, that's just for black people.
Not all,
No,
not
it's
all,
for all people.
all people.
Absolutely all people. And
Yeah,
the NAACP, do they still
they
meet there?
still meet here.
Still meet there.
That's it.
So
So it's if you have an event and we have an available date, you're more than welcome here.
churches, I think
We
churches.
have a church. Philip King
Okay.
has his Sunday services there.
Yeah, you've had a few churches
Yeah, we've
moving
had there. We
for
had
years.
John Paul McGee. He was here before he went to Boston, and so
It's been kind of cool.
yeah.
Every now and then I'll swing by, and you
Mm-hmm.
do quite a bit of things within the community. I
Mm-hmm.
know you give out scholarships to the kids,
Do you
backpacks
know
to the kids.
we're getting ready to hit our 20-year mark, and this year was 19 years, and we have hit $100,000 that we've given in scholarships.
Wow.
Hmm.
Can a sister get $1? What kind of scholarships y'all giving away? I just gotta check see if I can give me some.
I'm
That
telling you,
is wonderful for the children and
that's
things that you're
it.
doing there. I like that idea.
Hmm.
Huh? $100,000.
That's it.
So you've grown. I know you guys have grown. We're going to
Hmm.
talk about that because we got to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk about all the things that have changed that you have seen change since you've been there
Hmm.
and where you're going. And you just had an unveiling. You did a video. We'll talk about that when we come back from the break. Don't
All
go
right.
anywhere. Don't touch that dial. You're listening to Today with Pastor Jay.
Filter.
You need a slimming
I
filter?
need a slimming filter.
Ah, I wasn't sure if I needed to take a break, but I need to take a break because the next conversation was going to be a little bit extensive. Thank you guys for watching. How much time I have so I can kind of. Okay. All right. So when we come back, we're going to talk about the unveiling of the
The museum?
yeah. No. Oh, we want to talk about that first? I want to talk
Yeah.
about
Which
Mary McLeod Bethune. Didn't y'all do the video thing from the
yeah.
AACS? Talking
Mhm.
about some past events.
Mhm.
So if you can think of any past
Oh, I
events
got a
that you
ton of
guys,
them.
yeah, let me give you a piece of paper because I don't
Mhm.
want you to forget. You know, I
Mhm.
write, even though I know you and I've known you for
Mhm.
years, you know
Mhm.
what I do? I
Right.
write your name down on top of the paper because I always forget stuff, especially when it start running. So if you start thinking about some of the past events that you have
Mhm.
had, that would be great. And then we'll talk about that, and then we'll talk about the unveiling of the museum that's going to be coming up. All right.
Mhm.
Okay, guys. Thank you for watching. You ready?
Mhm.
I want to give a thank you and a shout out to Steve Verrier, thefloridamortgagecenter.com. Thank you for sponsoring today with Pastor Jay. Truly, we couldn't do any of this without you. Thank you for your love and your support. Also want to give a thank you and a shout out to Crystal and Jackie Wilson. They have been sponsoring my show quietly forever. They'll send me, they give me a little cash app every month, a little tiny cash app. I ain't gonna say it's tiny. Lord forgive me. It is a blessing of a cash app. Um, to help support Geraldine Ministries, and I put it towards this show. So that's kind of cool. For those of you who are willing to support, you can always go to my website, geraldine.org, click on the donate button, or go to todaywithpastorj.com, and learn how you too can be a sponsor. Well, I was looking for sponsors. Hey,
Okay.
maybe the African American Culture Society could be a sponsor. She's like, we looking for sponsors too.
You got that.
Looking for sponsors too.
Mhm.
So let's talk about some of the things that you have done in the past there that you consider to be
This
monumental.
has been since the reopening from the pandemic, which
Hmm.
was a year ago in June. The first thing we did to welcome everybody back was we had a jazz luau.
Oh, I know how much you love jazz
Really?
music.
And we had a blast. We had Rob Whiting, who's a
Hmm.
member. He has his band, and one of the members in his band is a graduate from our school system, and trumpet player Robert Callens.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's been a lot. And we also celebrated our 30th anniversary.
Mm.
We've been in our building 21 years, but AACS last year was 30 years old, the organization. So
And the
we're,
building's paid off, right?
the building's been paid
Paid off.
off.
Isn't that cool?
That's
I
it.
mean, it's amazing what can happen when a bunch of people, like-minded people, get
People,
together
that's
and
it.
make it happen.
That's it. And the 30th anniversary gala was wonderful. When I say the county came out, you looked and they were there. The superintendent of schools, the sheriff's department is just wonderful to us.
Hmm.
We had the city council, the county commissioners, we had teachers, we had community leaders.
Well, you've touched the lives. I mean, the
Mhm,
African American Culture Society have touched the
mhm,
lives of so many people,
mhm,
not just in scholarships, but you do a lot of children activities and
mhm.
stuff like that that you have and stuff there. That's kind of cool.
That's
That
it.
is kind of cool.
Yeah. And then we started, and then I just kind of kicked off our Christmas gift giving,
Right.
which we gifted 63 families the Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
And then we went into Kwanzaa, which was a celebration
Right.
of the end of the year for the Black community, but it was embraced by the whole community. And so I was very excited at that. I'm really loving the diversity, and people don't understand. Our membership is very diverse, and so are our activities. After the first of the year, we started off with our introduction into our museum.
Mm-hmm.
So we're the African American Museum of Florida, and it's hosted by the African American Cultural Society. The first exhibit was a place for all people, and it was supposed to be a 30-day exhibit, which ended up being a 6-month exhibit.
Wow.
We had a lecturer, Dr. Kitty Oliver, who's also a jazz artist,
Mm-hmm.
and she performed and lectured and basically talked about the fact that um, racism doesn't just affect the black and the white community. You have Asian Americans, you have Indians, um, you have and I hadn't really thought about it. uh, Young children that suffer with uh, I don't know the exact term of the illness, but it's, albinos,
Okay.
and how they're rejected by everybody.
Wow.
So we dealt with that, and which basically took us throughout the year.
Well,
We
that's a lot to deal with.
it is, and we had events that went on. We
I know during Black History Month,
Mhm.
you always have something going on. Then, of
Right.
course, Juneteenth, you always have something going on.
Hmm.
And I don't think people realize the amount of knowledge that's just housed in the African American Cultural Society.
Hmm.
Just cultural things and how to get to know what's going on. When I went to Flagler Beach, there's a museum in Flagler Beach. We'll get back
Yes.
to your museum.
Hmm.
And I'm looking around the Flagler Beach Museum and I'm going, there isn't anybody on their walls with my skin color, you know? And it's not for a lack of them trying, because they've
Hmm.
been trying to get some things. But
Hmm.
back in the day, blacks weren't allowed across the bridge. Most
Right.
people don't know that. They
No, it's
weren't
a
allowed across.
sundown town.
It was sundown town.
Yeah,
Is that what you call it? The
yeah,
sundown town? Yeah.
sundown town.
Sundown town. Weren't
Yeah.
allowed across the bridge.
Hmm.
So when you go in their museum, it really isn't reflective of the society or the county at all, because
Hmm.
there was major contributions in building up Flagler Beach from the African American community,
Right.
but it's not reflected because, like you said, the sundown town. Plus, it wasn't allowed over there. They've made great strives to try to acquire some items and even reach out to different individuals. Some that are here.
Hmm.
Speaking with those who grandparents have gone on and passed, but they haven't really been able to acquire that. But here at the African American Culture Society, it's rich, not just in culture from around the world, but also some local artists and stuff as well. So I commend
Well,
you for that.
everything, if you come into the African American Cultural Society today, there's art completely around the building, everywhere. And every painting, sculpture, photograph, or then we have some poetry posted, is done by somebody living here in Flagler County.
Wow.
We have artwork up from the students. We have photography from the Flagler Beach Photography Club. We have artwork from excuse me, local artists, and we try to keep rotating it in and out. But there's a wealth of talent here in Flagler County, and once again, it's not all just African Americans. We're a county,
Mm.
and so we do. We as Black people have a lot of pride, and but we're very accepting, and we try not to eliminate or exclude
Exclude
anybody.
anyone else.
Hmm.
I know on the 13th that you had come watch at the AACS Museum,
Hmm.
watch with us the statutory hall unveiling of the Mary McLeod Bethune statue.
Yes, we did.
How did, I wasn't able to make that. How did that go?
We had a wonderful turnout. We celebrated within the community. We showed the live stream of the unveiling. It was a wonderful program. It was a very prideful moment. Um, Elected officials from Florida, irregardless of the party, all spoke proudly of Dr. Bethune. They
Mm-hmm.
talked about her accomplishments, especially those that are from her district.
Mm-hmm.
But it was it was listed as the pride of Florida, which it was. The statue was fabulous. The artist was renowned. The uh, slab of marble that they got was beautiful. I don't know if you got a chance
Mm-hmm.
to see
I
it.
did.
Yeah, it was totally unblemished. So it was a lot for the community to come together, and educators to see this unveiling, to be very proud of the fact that it was about education. It was about educating our young people, and something that is, for some reason, it used to be a very driving force,
Mm-hmm.
and to listen to young people talk about how hopeless they feel now. I think we've dropped the torch somewhere,
Why
and
do you think that is?
I don't know, because I never. Well, and I don't want to say it's Flagler County. I think it's
It's
because I'm.
all overall, I
Yeah,
think.
it's because I've become very aware. But 12-year-olds committing suicide.
Mm-hmm.
That's something. y- you know,
Mm-hmm.
to be to be very mindful of. You need to talk to the surviving children and find out. And that's some of the things that we are doing uh, with the museum. There's a place for all people.
Mm-hmm.
We have something for you. Nobody's worthless.
Right.
Okay, we we have uh, with waterways, our exhibit now. People say, "Oh yeah, we live in Florida. It's about water." Okay, let me tell you about water. There are careers in water you never thought about: wastewater management, stormwater, uh, drinking water.
That's true. There's so many different
There's
things.
so many things to do, and then within each one of those segments, there's. I'm not a smart person. Well, how smart are you? Because I don't
We're
know
all
how to.
smart.
Yeah.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
know, did
Hmm.
you have an opportunity to see recently um a woman had posted on, I think it was Instagram or something, about her children being snubbed during the Sesame Street parade or something like that.
No, I didn't see that.
Oh, well, let me tell you, I can't remember which one of the characters. It wasn't Elmo or anything, but Sesame Street has like they have this parade thing. They have this place, and they were walking down the street, and I can't remember which character it was, but he was hugging on the little white kids and stuff and
Hmm.
everything, and got to the two little black girls and did, waved his hands like no, and wouldn't even hug them, and then went on to hug the white kid. I mean, it was just very apparent. You've got to watch it,
Oh,
very apparent.
I have
And
to.
and when I watched that, my aunt was here, my brother was here. They came down from New York, and we were looking at it, and my aunt and my brother was like, we're traumatized just from watching the little kids,
Hmm.
and even when the character walked by, the little black girls would like, where's my hug? Where's my
Hmm.
hug? We're still dealing with stuff like that today.
Yeah.
Sesame has come out and apologized and things like that. But those are the type things we deal with all the time. And it was like, oh, that was just a mistake, a one time thing. It doesn't
Mm.
happen. And then other black people started posting videos of the
Ah.
same character
Hmm.
snubbing black kids. It's like, oh yeah, well, how about these videos? How about these videos? When are we going to get past that? We got to go, we got to take a break. We'll come back and we're
Hmm.
just going to see what are the solutions to all of that. Don't go anywhere. Don't touch your dial. You're listening to Today with Pastor Jay. Did you see it, Mark? It was so bad that
No.
yeah, here it is. Okay.
That's crazy. Now I got a picture of Bob the Builder, the character, holding her when she was two, and she's trying to get away from him, just crying.
It was so bad. I went, you have got to be kidding me. Okay, let's see if I can find. It's only like a 9-second video.
Hmm.
Here it is. Makes you want to cry.
Oh, and she is reaching out for him. Both of them. Yeah.
It was horrible. Look.
Oh, he didn't even give him a high
Uh-uh.
five.
Look.
It's like, no, no.
Yeah,
No, you
but the
don't.
the longer video shows how he hugged the
Does
white
it?
kids,
But it
did
was.
this to the black kids, and as soon as he passed the black kids, started hugging the white kids.
Yeah, but here's the thing. At least that person, he gave him a high five. He
That's a
could have.
white person.
Yeah, but I'm saying he could have at least
Look,
gave.
but look how
Yeah.
she's going after him. Like,
What? Yeah.
what can I get? Oh
Mhm.
yeah, yeah. It was horrible. It was horrible. All
Mm-mm.
right, we've got just a couple of minutes, right? Okay, so I can't record this on air, but I can tell everybody that's watching, vote for Jill Woolbright for Flagler County Schools. Um, so we got Christy, Will, and Jill. Vote Christy, Will, and Jill. Christy Chong, Will, Furry, and Jill Woolbright. So I'm gonna say that. All right, you ready? Yeah, this isn't that crazy?
Mhm.
Okay. Welcome back. Welcome back. So during the break, I was able to show Blanche this video.
This
How,
is,
wasn't it horrible?
yeah,
On
that's
Instagram.
heartbreaking.
It is absolutely heartbreaking. The kids just reaching out like, give me a hug, give me a hug. And the
Mhm.
character just like, no, black kid, go on about your business.
Mhm.
So, I mean, how do we fix that? And I know the African American Culture Society being inclusive, trying to include all different type of cultures and things, which I commend you for, which is great.
Mhm.
But of course, at the same time, don't really want to water down our blackness,
No, absolutely not.
and one of the things years ago, and I don't know if you've
Mhm.
heard this because you're from up north too,
Mhm.
if you've heard this, that a lot of our grandparents and great grandparents are saying that desegregation really did of course, we didn't like the segregated schools, but desegregation kind of pushed something within the black community that wasn't there before. Because the black community was a proud race,
Mhm.
believed in education, working for everything that you had, just
Mm.
going to school, getting good jobs, and now it's just has just dwindled down to where are we now?
You know
What's your
what it
thought?
is? Parents lost the contact with the teachers because in the
Mm.
segregated schools, those teachers went to church with your parents.
Ah,
You went to the same hairdresser, barber shop, lived in the neighborhood. So you couldn't mess up, and it didn't get back home to your parents very quickly.
that makes sense, which is so important for parental rights. It's
Hmm.
so cool. It's so important, and that you have contact with your teachers and stuff like that. They call them helicopter parents, but I'm gonna
Hmm.
tell you right now, I'm grateful that all of my children finished high school and
Hmm.
they're all in high school. If I had to go through this now,
Yeah.
you would see me on the channel 10, channel 5, channel 12, channel 13, whatever channel they got news. Mom went crazy about her kids.
Hmm.
Your granddaughter snickering. You think
I
I'm
know.
joking? She
Hmm.
over there like, I would, if I had to deal today with what these parents have to deal with the school system, it'd be over with.
No. Well, see, you have to work within the school
You
system.
do.
You have to go back to breaking down barriers. But in the same token, you can't just let things go. So what we can't do in the school system, we can do at the center. So
Like that.
we have educational programs for young people. We have educational programs for adults. We have just uh, our official opening was July the 9th. We opened our first
Yeah, so you got the Smithsonian
Smithsonian
coming.
affiliation,
That's right.
and
That is cool. How do you get a Smithsonian affiliation? That's cool.
you work very hard and you do
Okay.
a lot of fundraising.
Work
Mhm.
very hard, do a lot of
Yes,
fundraising.
because
Okay.
there's a lot of grants and paperwork and so forth that you have to
Well,
prove
kudos to
yourself
you.
worthy. And Michelle Woods was our grant writer, and she worked on this day and night. And even when the exhibit comes, and I encourage everybody to come out and see
What's the date?
waterways. It'll be here in town until September 3rd, which is
Okay.
our closing day. But we've had um, lots of support. We had on the 7th of July, we had our opening reception,
Mm-hmm.
and uh, Representative Renner
Mm-hmm.
sponsored it. And it was just about everybody in
Right.
town that could make it in there. And it was a great opportunity. We also have received the support of the local hospitals and health
Very
programs
nice. Very
and
nice.
businesses. I'd be on here for about 15 minutes if I talked about the businesses that have donated to us. I don't want to overlook anybody. And since I don't have it written down, I won't
Mm-hmm.
call names, but the hospital systems, they have come out in our support. The sheriff's office, the fire department,
Good.
they had just
Just the community. That's
yeah.
exactly right. The community have stepped up, and it's about time. And I'm
And
grateful for that. And I'm
yeah,
going to say, you're doing a phenomenal job. In the time
we're
that
doing a phenomenal
you,
because this
this,
truly is not a one man band. The membership and then just people in the communities and then folks are joining, so the membership is growing.
yeah. So you can
But
go to the website,
mm-hmm,
um, AACS Palm Coast. I think it is. Does that sound
yeah,
right? Is
yeah.
that right? I'm gonna get it
No,
right.
what I want you to go to is aacsmuseum.org.
Uh-oh.
And
Okay.
that will give you the dates and the speakers. Last night, Dr. Ed Sharkovich, he did a phenomenal job. Ed is a commercial fisherman
Mm-hmm.
turned chiropractor, turned photographer,
What?
turned storm chaser, you name it. And he is an expert in all these areas. He talked about his time with the grandson of Matisse.
Mm.
And he now has this book where this gentleman basically taught him to take photos that have that Matisse look of the painting. And we and then of course he talked about storm and what
That
was
is so
tie.
cool. So you just never know.
You never know.
But go
And
to the website,
go to the website. Yeah,
aacsmuseum.org.
that's
And then
it.
that way you can get the events, you find out everything that's going on. You can also join the African American Culture Society. You can donate, do all types of things. And come, hey, if you need a place to rent, you can go there, rent a place. They got beautiful grounds.
That's
So that's
it.
great. Thank you so very much for
But
coming
and
on.
then I got one more pitch because this Saturday at about 3 or 4, we have Carmelo Morales, our water management office, and he'll be speaking. He'll be talking about some of the issues that we're having in terms of, I guess we're having canals
Yeah,
dredged
we are.
and everything else.
Wow, didn't know
So
you had that kind of stuff. So it'll be interesting. Go to
you
the
gotta
website.
come
Gotta
out.
go to the website,
That's
get
it.
information. Thank you, Blanche. I
Hmm.
appreciate you. And thank you for your insight about the
Hmm.
connection between parents and their teachers,
Hmm.
I mean, and our education system. All right,
Hmm.
guys, you know what I say? Yesterday's gone, tomorrow's not promised. What are you
Hmm.
going to do today? You're going to vote Christy, Will, and Jill. Christy Chong, Will Furry, and Jill Woolbright for Flagler County Schools. God bless you. Have a wonderful day.